You can get all the tools you need to learn, and then after 2 years, transfer into the school of your choice. And after you cross the stage in 4 years, what degree do you have? The degree from your dream school. So if you feel underprepared in high school, it's not the end of the world. You can do some time at a community college and build relationships in a caring environment and a focused environment on your skills, and catapult to a 4-year institution. So, any questions? What were the 3 things I want you guys to remember?
Think, learn, create.
What were they?
Think, learn, create.
What were they?
Think, learn, create.
Okay, all right, good. You guys got it. Thank you.
Quick quiz time again, parents. Then we're going to turn it over to our panelists. I hope they're ready, because I know they've been waiting patiently. Okay. So we're going to open the floor to students first, but the other thing we're going to integrate is that we work with 3 schools. One of the representatives is here. It was Oxon Hill Middle School, Benjamin Tasker in Bowie, Maryland, and Woodmore Elementary. I'm not going to get that wrong. We asked each of these schools to provide us questions from students. And so as you ask questions, we're going to also integrate some questions from them to our panel as well. So we'll open the floor with, no, I'm going to take my hand. What do you want to ask? Yes, stand up. Please stand up for it. And panel, make sure you use the mic as well. Good, you can, I'll hold it for you. He's nervous.
I don't know what to say.
You have an optometrist, you have a biologist, you have Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Ellis, his background is in Air Force, aviation, a psychologist, and 2 engineers at the end.
Okay, for the engineers, I have a question. For like civil engineering, how long will probably take in college to get like a master's or a PhD?
Okay.
Well, is this on? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm working on my PhD now, so I can say that if you go to the traditional route, your PhD will probably take anywhere from, and I'm not being conservative, 5 to 7 years. But there are accelerated programs, which I'm in right now, so if all goes well, I'll be done in 3. So you do have those options, and then if you go abroad, they're typically 3 years. For your master's, you're looking at just 2 years. Some places do have accelerated programs where maybe you can do it in a year and a half, but it's typically 2 years. And then for your bachelor's, this is a really good question because for engineers, we usually don't come out in 4. You're going to see at certain points, you're going to have to make a break. And most engineers are surprised about this. They don't realize that the technical track usually has a ceiling, that comes a lot sooner than the management track. So a lot of engineers are pushed into management. And so that's something to think about. And also, as our projects are becoming more complex, that push comes sooner rather than later. So, because you do need people who can manage technical people who understand the technical aspects of the job.
This next question is to the panel. From a student from Woodmore Elementary again. Why did you consider a career in STEM? Why did you consider a career in STEM?
I probably didn't make the most intelligent decision in becoming an engineer. When I was in high school, 11th grade, they were coming out with the yearbook. And I really didn't know what to put down. So I asked my future brother-in-law, we were in the same class, what he was going to put down. And he told me he was going to put down electrical engineering. I said, gee, that sounds good. That's kind of what I put down. And then when it came time to fill out the high school, the college application, I'm pretty consistent. I put that down. But I felt comfortable doing that, in all honesty, because I had a very good background in math and science and enjoyed those subjects. Always have, still do. I still read science books and math books and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's why, I've pursued engineering.
When I was at your level in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grades, I was doing what they called in those days science projects, because we had a science and math conference, annual science and math conference that we would go to each year. And I seemed to have been good at it because I won prizes. And so I then decided that maybe I should go to college. And so I took scholarship tests and won a scholarship and went to college. And the counselors at my high school, of course, told me that a person with my ability ought to be preparing himself to be a medical doctor. Because if you're really bright, you're supposedly bright, you're supposed to go to medical school. And so I went to college being a pre-med major, and had the good fortune of being recruited for a job before I finished college. The Communicable Disease Center out of Atlanta came to my university and convinced me that I could take a job working for them in New York. And since I came from rather humble beginnings, it seemed like a reasonable thing to do, since I didn't have any notion of how I was going to pay to go to medical school anyway. So I took the job working for them, and it was a most amazing experience for me, because it was working that job when I realized that I didn't have any propensity whatsoever to be a medical doctor. That I was more interested in biochemistry and chemistry and biochemistry. And so I then obviously decided that I would change my direction, and ended up going on to take a master's and a PhD in my area.
I've always liked science and math since I was very little. Probably, I would say early on in high school, I just always knew I wanted to be a doctor of some sort. I always thought that it would be a pediatrician, but here at Morgan State, there was a career fair in my senior year at Morgan State, where I talked with someone about the field of optometry and how there weren't very many blacks and black women in the field. And the leading causes of blindness among African Americans at that time, and still is now, diabetes and glaucoma. So I've always been interested in sciences. I think that optometry does allow you to do a lot of thinking. You meet a lot of different people. Every person has a very different case. It allows you to learn. I'm going off of what the gentleman told us about earlier. It allows me to learn a lot every single day. I'm constantly reading and taking courses and trying to keep up with various technologies on different medications that are being offered, different types of lenses that we prescribe to people. And optometry also gives you an opportunity to create different things and technologies also.
The next question from the panel. Excellent question from, again, a student from Woodmore Elementary. Did you get good grades in school?
I can answer that one. No. I stopped buying books in undergrad. Actually, I did get decent grades, but I did stop buying books because I got disenchanted with psychology. I said I said I wasn't a STEM person. I became a psychologist because I did not like math or science. I got passed.
Lieutenant Colonel Ellis, did you get good grades in school?
Yes, I did. Grades weren't perfect, but they were definitely good enough to pursue my dreams. So, but the main thing really is discipline and your priorities.
Yeah, I was a pretty good student. I'm thinking about middle school, high school, because you got to start there to get the best opportunities to go to college, to attract the money. In college, my grades weren't as good as they were in high school. The competition was a lot tougher. Okay. You won't say anything about the school I went to. But yeah, my grades were pretty good. And also, I would also say I was a pretty disciplined person. And that doesn't mean you're going to work hard in college. College is probably going to be the hardest thing that you guys are going to do up to that point in your life. Make no mistake about it, okay? But, one, be thankful that you have the ability to work hard. Not everybody does, okay? And by working hard, by learning, by being disciplined, you can really prepare yourselves for the rest of your life.
We definitely want to hear from the students. We heard from the panel. Great job for the panel. Great job. But we want to hear from the students. This is about the students, so we want to hear from the students.
What do you want to say? As we close, what do you want to say?
About this in general?
Yes, about this in general.
Well, I'm actually very inspired to hear what the panel has to say, knowing that I want to be an engineer, and from Dr.
You got to cheers, sir.
Yeah, from Dr. Hampton's perspective, I'm motivated about what he said about emotional intelligence, because I'm a very live person.
I see. I can see.
So I enjoy hearing what he had to say about that.
Cool.
Well, going off of what Bree said, I think he's completely right about the whole emotional intelligence and discipline, and yeah, I just like listening to him talk. Yeah.
They like looking at the document. So, what do you want to say?
Exactly what they were saying, that I'm very inspired from the panel and everything, and they helped me to figure out a way to pursue my dreams, and I'm very thankful for that.
You know, she even tied in pursuing a dream in that one. I like that. She's going to get something for that.
Dave and Buster.
Definitely.
Going off what all of them said, listening to just everybody and like how long you have to go to college, and like what Dr. Hampton said, like everything he said just like makes sense and you take it all in.
Yeah, other panelists did.
Everybody.
Yeah,
It's them people.
Senior.
what school?
I said, what school?
Yeah.
Am I trying to go?
No, what school you in there?
Oh, Lower High School.
Stand up now. Oh, Laurel High School. In Prince George's County, Brown.
Thank you for traveling this far. What do you want to say?
Well, I learned that
Stand it up.
I learned that you have to be dedicated and very disciplined, and you have to be motivated to pursue your career, man. You have to network and a lot of stuff. You have to be good people, and
They don't get this wrong. We don't get you. We want to get the students first.
All right.
You got to stand up. Tall guy, good. What do you want to say?
So what I learned is that engineering takes a lot of work, and you really got to be motivated and
Yeah, good, good.
I would like the point talking about discipline and about opportunities of when you see one, you have to capture it, because there's a lot of people in the world that doesn't even have the opportunity to pursue their dreams and what they wanted to be. So that's why they move over here to get the opportunity. And when I learned about, for all the colleges, people don't want to go to college, or they want to pursue their dreams without having to go to school. Well, that's not really possible, because all of these people did for 9, 12 years in college. That's why you have biologists, you have engineers who are prepping the new generation of people who are us, who want to be in their place in 20 or 30 years.
Okay. And that's why we're old, too. That's why
I learned that to go to college, you have to have a mindset of how long you're going to go. You can't just go for 4 years and expect to get like a bunch of money every year. You just have to like try and keep getting more education as you move along.
Cool.
What I learned was that all the panelists said, inspire yourself, have a good dream, and be encouraged to your education, and become whatever you want to become.
I think it's amazing to hear people talk about what they love and pursuing their dreams, and coming here today has taught me about how to reach my goals and given me a taste of adulthood, you could say, which is what I need.
Cool.
I've learned that you have to really like what you do to be successful in it, and you have to be motivated to like reach your goal.
All right. Parents, definitely, we want to hear from the parents, man.
Let's hear for the students.
Yeah.
it's good to see all of you that participated. We came here not knowing that it was STEM program. We wanted to get my grandson, this is my son, involved. But I worked with the Black Women's Agenda. And what we've done, I'm not there now with Prince George's County, would go to Howard University and to Maryland University. Black Women's Agenda doing Black Caucus. 900 women come for this luncheon. And I wish we would have some male to come. But the last 2 years, it's been involved in STEM. And that's why I'm glad we came here. The Lord just really directed you. And I'd like to get your some information from you and from you.
Sure.
Because Colgate sponsored the STEM program this last year. Give out scholarships. So I think it's just good to, and I'll give you my information. I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. That's what I wanted to say. Okay.
Mom, you want to talk about that financial?
Yeah, and I didn't graduate from college, and I just want to tell all these freshmen and senior how important it is to go to college, pursue your dreams. I didn't have all the options that you have in STEM. It wasn't focused on that when I was in high school. So you can do it. Just put your mind to it. And it is hard to raise a family on a high school graduate. Just being a high school graduate. I mean, it really is. So go out there and get it. You can do it.
Any other parents? Educators. Educators. The educators want to say anything.
I guess I teach on, of course, the elementary level, and I know you guys are in high school. I will say that the big initiative, and I will give the state of Maryland a big applause, the push is for STEM. And they're not just starting on the elementary level. They've realized that you actually have to get the kid on the high school level. You actually have to get the kids on the elementary level. And I work very closely with the science department in our county, and I think it is going to trickle over to Anne Arundel County. But we've revamped our whole curriculum so that we do have STEM components starting on the kindergarten level and career readiness. So for me, I wasn't always a science person. I knew I was going to be a teacher because my grandmother was a teacher and her friends told me I was going to be a teacher. But I kind of, in a sense, I'll say, kind of fell into my position. I always had a passion for teaching children. But when it came to the actual STEM field, that really, I'm not a math person, I quickly say that, but kind of fell into that. And one of the things I was kind of over here saying to Dr. Hampton, you are in the STEM field, whether you want to admit it or not. And STEM, the big push that I'm trying to educate the teachers in my building, and they've gotten into it now, that STEM isn't just about science, because they automatically, you're STEM coordinator because I started off as just the science coordinator. It encompasses everything. Everything that you do involves STEM. Actually, your parents get their cars worked on. Those people are actually in a STEM field. It's the smallest things. The big aha for me this year was the creator of SpongeBob. Any of y'all watch SpongeBob? Okay. He, not only did he create that show, but he's an actual marine biologist. So a lot of the things that you do, you may not even realize that they are STEM motivated. Now, it's good to see that you guys have a program at your school as ninth graders. And some of the people on the panel, I'll be speaking to you as well, because one of the things that I wanted to encompass with my students is I want them to see that there are people like us, people of color, that can get these careers and be very successful at it, not always thinking I want to play basketball or things of that nature. Have a realistic have a realistic career. So I'm happy that I was given an opportunity and actually invited to come out. And I'm actually going to pass the word. I think you have one in the spring.
Yes, we do.
As well. I'm hoping to actually have some of the parents bring my students out to come, but continue with it. It's going to be hard. Nothing that you really want to be successful with is going to come easy. You have to put in work, but don't lose a passion. You may get discouraged, but if it's something truly that you want to do and you want to inspire, whether it's engineering, whether it's optometrist, whether it's college may not be for everyone. There are alternatives to actually getting a STEM field. It may not be the $300,000 job or the $100,000 job, but any career that you choose, put your passion into it.
Mom, you're going to be the last person. We got to wrap up.
I just want to thank all of you to take your time, and especially on Saturday, come over here. It's very, very appreciated, besides the kids, the parents as well.
Right.
I'm from a different country. My education is from Armenia, but I learned a lot as well about the careers that, or also the path that they need to go through. And also thank you guys for putting this together.
Yes. Mr. Price, we'll end with you.
I'll make this really brief. There's a common thread that every single person on the panel has, and probably every adult here. They all get their jobs through someone in my field, human resources. So I can affirm everything that they have said as far as emotional intelligence, discipline, being likable, securing something in your passion. Those are the key things that really help you be successful in your careers. You're going to meet someone in my field. In high school, human resources is kind of an adult concept, but it's like a guidance counselor and an administrative person in high school. So really try to get that discipline and really make a point to talk to people and understand what it's like to be in your field and let that motivate you. No, college is not to throw a wrench in there, but I mean, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, those guys, they're an anomaly, but they didn't necessarily need the college route. Zuckerberg created Facebook in college. They didn't need college, but what they have is the discipline. They do have the emotional intelligence. They do have the passion. And no matter what road life takes you, whether it's obstacle or whatever, you have those things.
I just wanted to say a couple things, and one is that these students have made me so proud of them.
Yeah.
I've been on this job for a month, and I just cannot believe you guys, the maturity, the depth of question, and you guys were really here. You were really present. I saw you really listening and thinking about things, and I really appreciate that. I wish we had more take the opportunity to come, but in the spring, hopefully we can get some other people to come back. And the panel, you guys are just outstanding, and you are STEM. I see you shaking your head. Sorry.
There's so much denied.
And I think, when I go back, we have a little freshman issue of homework right now. But I think part of the message I need to be giving them is what piece that has for the long term. It's not just about the grades this quarter. It's about putting yourself on a pathway for success for the long term. And that's really helped me hone that message. So be delivered on Monday. Thanks.
Last thing, because we want to hear from a parent and student, give you a chance to win, chance to win something from Redmond's. Vice President, you come with me, come with us. We also give student a chance to win a game. We want the parent as well as the student to be able to tell us what their career plan would be. So who wants to take that challenge? Okay, cool, good.
Stand up.
I want to get a double major in college for paleontology and biology. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that yet, but I know what I'm going to do in this school.
And as a parent, to help her, I'm very focused on keeping track of her grades and telling her to reach her, making sure she has goals and make sure she completes her homework, gets in touch with teachers, Ms. Whitman has helped so far, so just basically always being there. And as not being a college graduate, I want her to be a college graduate. She will be a college graduate.
Amen.
That's your gift card? Thank you.
I'd like
Thank
to
you.
get a card from you.
No problem. And you come up, student, you come and get the game. Now, also, the other thing, because this is the end of our program, Mr. Cooper definitely wants to teach you how to develop video games. So, again, if you want to do that as you're leaving, that's a cool way to end. Oh, great.
And just one more thing, before we wrap up, I just want to thank our volunteer, Tiffany Green, who is also a civil engineer, and also Lynn Anderson, our program coordinator, who's an electrical engineering background and an attorney. So definitely, we want to thank them because they actually helped us a lot in making sure that this was a success for all of you today. So practice your pitch with them if you want to talk to them. You know, I'm not going to stop talking about the pitch today. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,